wow.
So yes, we do a lot of work for free
because
obviously not 100% of the people that we pre-approve or 100% of the people that we actually apply to the banks for will get an approval from the banks. We only get paid on registration of the property, so not even on approval of the home loan. Only once the property has registered in the buyer's or the purchaser's name will we then get our payment from the bank. Let's talk about figures to give you a proper idea. Let's say you're lending an average of 1 million from the banks. Little change in the interest rate of 0.5% over a 20-year term would mean around about 80,000 Rand savings over that term. You know what? We're happy. Your units can sell for 2 million each. We are willing to lend that amount. The benefit is now once your buyer is coming to put an offer, the banks don't need to send out evaluators to go and evaluate the property to see if they're willing to lend that money for the value that it's valued at. So we skip that whole process by doing this ahead of time.
Hey, Red Circle family. Welcome to Brick by Brick, your property power purpose podcast right here on Red Circle Television. I'm Dudu from Red Circle Property, and I'm bringing you our very first home buyers series right here on this channel. First episode, guys. Woohoo! And of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Jean-Ray from GreenDoor Home Loans. Hey, Jean-Ray.
Hey, Dudu.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Welcome to our first episode.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. Just a quick introduction. My name is Jean-Ray from GreenDoor Home Loans, and we are bond originators, or you can call us home loan specialists. We're very excited to be here with Red Circle throughout the whole series, actually. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving you the tools and tips to make confident decisions when investing in property.
That's right. So if you're a first-time buyer or you're adding to your portfolio, we're going to be making this very practical and very simple for you guys to be able to follow through. But before we continue, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell so that you do not miss a single episode from this series. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss a thing.
And also remember to follow both Red Circle and GreenDoor Home Loans on our social media channels. It would be in the description.
That's right. That's right. So let's get right into it, Jean-Ray. So most people, I believe, don't know very much about bond originators. Yes. I think most of the time they'll get to find out about a bond originator after they've made an offer to purchase. And it's at that point where the real estate agent will then recommend a bond originator for the buyer, and then they go through the bank process and so on and so on. Yes. So tell us a little bit about what a bond originator is and what is it that you guys do?
All right. It's so true what you're saying. It's a very intimidating thing, especially when it comes to finances, and buying property is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make. So a lot of people first approach the real estate agent, but in an ideal world, a buyer would first approach a bond originator. The first reason being, you need to know what you can afford before you can actually go out and look for property. So what we do is we start with that pre-approval process. We make sure you know what you can afford, and then you can confidently go out there and shop. After that, we have all your documents and your details. We then approach all the major banks, including a few extra financial institutions. We apply to them on your behalf to see what the best rate and terms could be for your bond. And the best thing is our service is completely free. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. So you guys are almost like home loan matchmakers.
100%, yes.
Or personal shopper, right?
That's
so
exactly.
You don't do anything at all. They do all of the legwork. They do all of the running around and try and get you the very best deal possible from the banks or any lending institution, correct?
That's it, yes.
That's amazing. And it's for free. Free services. Who doesn't want a free service today, right? I think that is incredible. You save money. It is all for free. No stress, nothing at all. I love that. But I don't know. It sounds a little bit like there must be something, though. Is there a catch somewhere? So what exactly is the home buyer saving from this whole process?
Okay, brilliant. So just to give you a quick idea before I go into more of the benefits of using a bond originator, just to give you let's talk about figures to
Yeah.
give you a proper idea. Let's say you're lending an average of 1 million from the banks. Little change in the interest rates of 0.5% over a 20-year term would mean around about 80,000 Rand savings over that term. And that's a small change, right? So approaching a bond originator to apply at all the banks on your behalf, we can negotiate with them, right? The banks are willing to lend. They really want to lend money.
They've got money.
That's it.
They want to give away money.
And they want to find the right people to lend to.
Yeah.
Another quick statistic I can throw out there is it's about 35% of people that go out straight to the banks would get that approval, versus using a bond originator, you'd get at about a 77% approval rate. The reason for that is we have been around for 20 years, right? We're celebrating our 20th year in business this year.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So, yes, we know what the banks require, right? Also, GreenDoor was founded by two people that worked in the home loans industry in the major banks for years. So we know exactly what they require. We help the client to fill out the application forms correctly. We make sure that everything is in order. We make sure that they have all the supporting documents in place, and then we approach the banks, right? So, yes, we do get paid. We don't offer a free service just for free, but
I knew it.
we get that from the banks.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a thank you from them because we're giving them qualified people, right? We're doing all the paperwork behind the scenes. So, yes, they do fight for that business, definitely, especially when it's a good client. You might have a private banker as well and think, well, I've got a great relationship with my private banker. I'm just going to go straight to my bank. The issue is they still know what you can afford,
Right.
and you don't get the other options from the other banks. So rather approach a bond originator, let them do that for you on your behalf, and you'll definitely be saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. And I think it's so important to get to understand beforehand, before you even go looking for a home, what it is that you can actually afford. And then in making that offer to purchase, at least now you know the numbers, right?
Yes.
You know how much you can afford, you know how much you're going to be granted, and you're able to now calculate what is your return on investment going to be thereafter. So whether you're investing for capital appreciation or you're investing to develop and resell, you know, the properties, at least then you have a much better understanding of what it is that you're actually buying into. And you're not just going out there and spending money and potentially getting yourself into a situation later on, right?
100%.
So I think that's wonderful. I think that actually is something that most people should be doing before even approaching a real estate agent, in fact.
That's it. Yes. A lot of the real estate agents now, or property practitioners in the industry, would actually require you to have a pre-approval. As you know, as we all know, I think real estate agents are one of the hardest working people in this industry, or in one of the hardest working professions, right? And it's a very unreliable market. And one way to make it more reliable is to present your real estate agent or your property practitioner with proof that you can actually afford to purchase. So when they are taking time out of their busy schedules to go show you properties, they'll be more confident in showing you all the places you want to see because they know exactly what that you can afford.
They already have an idea of what you're pre-approved
That's
for.
correct.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. All right, so we have a couple of questions, right, that we're going to throw your way as well. These are some questions that have come through as well from some of our followers on our social media platforms. All right, let's get right into it. So very first one, do you only deal with banks? Are banks the only lending institutions that you actually go to?
All right, it's a great question. So yes, we do approach all the major financial institutions, the major banks, as we all know them. And then there are additional financial institutions that we do approach as well. For example, SA Home Loans is another institution that we approach, as well as HIP or Housing Investment Partners and Sentinel. These are all lending partners that we approach besides the major banks.
I see.
For the working professionals that qualify for the criteria, we also go to Investec Bank.
So how many banks would you say you guys approach on average?
On average,
the lenders, the banks, on average, how many of them do you actually approach?
So every time we at least go to the 5 major institutions, and then from there we can go up to 8. That's depending on your financial standing and also the bank's qualifying criteria.
I see.
Yeah.
So the next question, consultation fee. Do you guys charge a consultation fee?
No
So
consultation
when I come
fees.
to GreenDoor Home Loans, should I have a little bit of money stashed away?
So when I previously mentioned free, no cost
Yeah,
of
yeah.
service, still the same.
From
Yeah.
beginning up until
From
the
the beginning,
end. So the
yes.
banks are the only ones that actually give you guys
That's it.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we do a lot of work for free
Yeah.
because obviously not 100% of the people that we pre-approve or 100% of the people that we actually apply to the banks for will get an approval from the banks. We only get paid on registration of the property.
I see.
So not even on approval of the home loan.
Right.
Only once the property has registered in the buyer's or the purchaser's name will we then get our payment from the bank.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. I
So,
mean, why
yes.
wouldn't you want that? I don't know. For me, it just seems like such a luxury experience,
Yeah.
right? So it's for free. You guys do all the work. You do all the running around.
Yes.
You get to negotiate with the banks or whichever other lender.
Yes.
And then the other question that they have here, if a client isn't happy with the offer that they're being given, right? Is there room for renegotiation? And how many times can you renegotiate, for instance?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud.
Oh, gosh.
But yes, to get back to that question, 100%. Our main service credo is we want to find you the best rate and terms for your bond at the quickest possible time with the least amount of hassle.
Okay.
And we've been living up to that reputation. And that's why we've grown so quickly in the past 20 years from a small family business to having representation all around South Africa. So to get back to that question, we can go back and negotiate.
Renegotiate.
We would call it in our industry a motivation
Okay.
to the bank. And it's not only for a better rate. Let's say the bank comes back with an initial decline on your application.
Right.
If we see there's merit in your application, we will fight for it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And our consultants or property finance specialists have been in this industry and with us for years. So they know when there's merit in an application. And we will motivate. If we have to restructure finances, if we have to give you tips on what to pay off, change some things around on your credit, you can follow that and then come back and reapply. But not always it's the case that you will have to wait to reapply. We can motivate while the application is at the bank.
Still okay.
That's it. If we see enough merit, we'll push it through.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing.
And we do that,
you're like a superhero of home loans.
Just a side note, if you think about it, if you had to approach the bank yourself,
Yeah.
you would need to go and motivate yourself.
Imagine.
And I think how many
that would
people,
be very difficult.
how many people actually know
how to negotiate
or know that they can, They get a
Precisely.
decline from the bank and just think, oh, I can't afford, let's go
That's
back
it.
to renting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true.
So make sure you use a bond originator.
Always, always make sure you go to a bond originator first. They're your best friend. They are your best friend. They'll make sure that you get that home. That's for sure. All right. So one of the most exciting things that I got to find out as well is that GreenDoor Home Loans, you don't only deal with applications for home buyers.
Yes.
You also assist property developers with the pre-evaluation of their new developments.
100%.
And at Red Circle Property, we're going to be bringing a new development project very, very soon. And we'll get into that a little bit later on later episodes. For now, we're going to focus on this series so that we get to have you understand why it's important to actually know what you can afford.
Yes.
Because it's not just for the home buyer, also for the property developers. It all depends on your investment strategy. And it always starts with understanding what it is that you can afford. So the pre-evaluation of new developments. Tell me a little bit about that. What does that mean for the buyer? What does it mean also for the property developer?
All right. So that's a whole different subject on its own.
Yeah.
But to give you a big summary of it, we've been working on about 45 different developments in the past 20 years. And we are currently also in the works with a few property developers on some exciting projects.
Nice.
One of the first things we would need to do is establish that the value of the units are priced correctly. So we will approach the banks and with all of the documentation that they need and require. And I'm sure you know,
Yes.
it's a lot of
It is.
documentation.
It's a whole list. It's a massive list.
And we sample and get all that stuff together and ready on behalf of the developer.
Yeah.
We will then approach the banks and motivate once again to the banks why this is the correct selling price. They will do the valuations on their end and say, you know what, we're happy. Your units can sell for 2 million each. We are willing to lend that amount. The benefit is now once your buyer is coming to put an offer, the banks don't need to send out a valuator to go and valuate the property to see if they're willing to lend that money for the value that it's valued at. So we skip that whole process by doing this ahead of time. And you, the developer, then know that your units are priced correctly.
That's right.
Another thing to consider as well that we do is each bank would be willing to issue a certain amount of bonds per development. They won't cover all 100, let's say all 100 of the units, because they'll have to look at their exposure in that specific area or development. So not only do we approach one bank, we go to all of them and ensure we get enough input from all the banks to cover all of the bonds in your units.
I think that's fantastic. So it's essentially to ensure that the property development itself is bankable, right? There's 100%. Bankability, and that the property developer isn't just throwing out numbers for the sake of making a profit, right? So, you know, we'll sell this for 4 million or 3 million. And then the bank comes back and says, no.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It
cannot be.
That's too late.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic. It also calls for some transparency as well, which I think is great. You know, it builds trust between the property developer and the potential investor or the buyer as well. And they're sure that the banks have taken a look, and whatever offer they make, that it's likely then to be approved at the 100%. Bank as well. I think that's fantastic. Brilliant. All right. So some key takeaways from today's episode. Let's go through some of those. I have a few of my own.
Perfect.
Give me some of yours.
Okay. I think main takeout from here is if you're looking to invest or looking to purchase property, the first thing would be to approach a bond originator. Yeah. Service is free. We'll give you an idea of what you can afford to buy. If you don't qualify for the amount that you would like to initially, or if we see there's some unfavorable things on your credit record, we can assist you in fixing that. And I believe we have a whole episode on that coming up, right? Yes. So yes, that would be the key takeouts. Approach a bond originator and make sure that your pre-approvals, which we'll be covering in the next episode, are done in the correct manner.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Mine are saving time. I mean, this process will save you time for sure.
Yes.
Save you time, save you money, and stress. Nobody wants stress.
Eliminate that stress.
It's free and it's stress-free, guys. And I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, I think that's fantastic. So those are my key takeaways for today's episode.
Yes. I mean, thinking about it, right? The property, as I mentioned before, purchasing property is one of your biggest investments that you make in your entire life.
Yeah.
For most people, it is their biggest investment, right? So why not speak to an expert before?
Exactly.
Right? You're using different comparative quote companies when you're getting insurance, when you're doing different kinds of shopping. And you're telling me for your biggest investment, you're not using someone like that?
Yeah, no.
That's
not
why
a
we're
good
here.
idea.
That's it.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because why would you want to give so much money, you know, into an investment and not do it right 100%. From the beginning? Correct. Because it does catch up with you ultimately at the end of the day.
It does.
And then when you're purchasing property, there's so many other costs to consider in doing that. And I believe that it's extremely important to understand that if you can afford a certain amount, then it allows you to be able to then figure out what other costs are involved, and if I should go in with this amount that I'm approved for instance, or I should consider maybe something less that amount in order to be able to cover other costs. 100%. So there's an assurance to the process, right? And you're right, it's a huge investment. It's a huge milestone, huge step in, you know, your financial outlook. Yeah. So rather do it correctly from the very first go. Or even if you're adding to your portfolio. I think it's important to always understand what you have existing, and then what is the next investment going to be, and how is that going to be looking like, and financially, how are you going to be able to support it?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And not to go into other episodes yet, but for investors, there are different products from the banks.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that you are earning a rental income on the property you bought, we can use that for future applications. So yes, there's many benefits.
Awesome.
We can speak about this for ages.
So that's it, guys. That's our very first episode on Brick by Brick, your Property Power Purpose podcast. Our first episode in the bag. That's so great. Okay, so for our next episode, we're going to be looking at why it's important to be pre-approved.
Yes.
So this episode sort of explained what a bond originator is, what it is that they do. And the next episode, we're going to be looking at pre-approvals, why they matter, how they give you sort of an edge when you're going to look for property, and why you should actually consider being pre-approved.
Yes.
Yeah. So that will be on our next episode 2, guys. So make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so you don't miss that.
Yes. And remember to go like and follow our pages on social media.
Yes.
Yeah. Stay up to date.
So drop a comment down below if you have questions. We would love to be able to answer those in upcoming episodes as well. Interact with us. Let us know what it is that you want to know more of, and we'll make sure that we give you as much information as possible. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.